It sounds like I'm like choking or something.
It does sound like you're choking or something, but unfortunately...
Unfortunately, you're not.
That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant at all.
Okay. I'm better now. But
unfortunately, you're not joking. Oh, okay.
Okay.
This is Barely Furcasting, featuring Taebyn, an Injured Nerves audio production. Well, hello to all our potters in the Potterverse. This is Barely Furcasting, featuring Taebyn, and I am one of your hosts, Barely Normal. And my cohort/co-host with me, of course, is...
I'm a hort, apparently. And I am your Taebyn.
Taebyn hort.
And I am a co-pup, so co-bark.
So you know, Taebyn, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Did you get your hubby something sweet for Valentine's?
I hope he doesn't hear this when I say not yet.
Oh, well, you're going to have to rush right out after this podcast.
I am. Maybe I'll have to go to, not Switzerland, but the country
somewhere.
starts with an S where I'm Russian. What's the joke? I'm trying to make the joke with a S country.
There's no S for this Russian. Sweden? Switzerland?
It's not Sweden. There's a joke. There's totally an S country.
If you come back to it, we'll get to Scandinavia.
Scandinavia, I think.
Okay.
Yes.
They're not Russian in Scandinavia.
They're not Russian in Scandinavia, so I'm gonna rush down to the store, not in Scandinavia. Wow, that took a horrible turn. Let's just
take a horrible turn.
Shall we? What were you saying, Barry? You were saying something important, and I'm not.
Well, no, I was just asking if you got your honey something for Christmas, for Valentine's Day, and I got my hubby a love book.
Love book.
Book.
Is that the one with what's his name, Mr. McCloud on it? No, that's the Love Boat.
That's Love Boat. Yes, I did not get him the Love Boat.
Okay,
that would be very difficult to purchase or wrap. Take a lot of wrapping paper. Lot of wrapping paper. A love book is a thing you can do on the internet. You can log into Lovebook. Was it lovebook.com? Something like that.
Lovebookonline.com.
Lovebookonline.com. Yeah. You can put all sorts of things in there. It's not just for Valentine's Day. It's for any special occasion. This sounds like an ad, but it's really not. But if Lovebook wants to send us some money to help promote it.
In any case, you already did your part. So yeah, we need the money.
That's right. They can, send us some money. It's like a cartoon book. And you can make different pages about why you love this person or what that person's all about. And you put little cartoons and you can manipulate the cartoon characters around to make it look like you and your hubby. It's really kind of fun to do. Pretty inexpensive, like $20 or $30.
Oh, this is a good, I think I might do that. Thank you for that.
Well, it's probably too late for you to do it today because it would, it takes a couple of weeks to get here. So,
well, maybe if I have them send it on Valentine's Day next year, it will be on time.
It'll be on time. Yeah, right. Absolutely.
So thank you for the idea for next year.
Or you can do it for his birthday or your anniversary or Christmas or...
And if you're very, very careful, you can mix up the holidays. And so for his birthday, I could send him a Christmas love book with a Valentine's theme that has boxing people on it. Because there's a Boxing Day thing about
Boxing Day. Yeah, but it'd be boxing gloves, different. So anyway.
Yeah, put it all together all at once.
With the holiday coming up, it's time for History with Barely. So, would you like to know about Valentine's Day?
I would love to, because actually I don't, people always make references to the Valentine's Day and the history and stuff, and there's jokes and stuff because you've got to know the history, and I never get the jokes because I don't know the history, so I am excited, to find out the history, barely.
In AD 496, so
that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Wow.
The Pope Galasius.
Reminds. Was he cold at heart? No, that's a glacier. So
that's a great name. Wouldn't you like? What's your name? Galasius.
Galasius. I ski very well, and I ice skate.
Pope Galasius dedicated February 14th in honor of Saint Valentine of Rome. Now there are several other Saint Valentines in the Catholic religion, but this one is the one of Rome. He died on that date February 14th, in
Ooh,
AD 269. So 200
still
years
on.
prior, to
Okay.
when he made this. The day became associated with romantic love in the 14th and 15th centuries,
Hmm.
when notions of courtly love, not Courtney love is an entirely different thing.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
the Kurt Cobain and
yeah,
all that. Yeah, Trent
that's a
Trent
totally different,
Trent Reznor. Yeah, we don't.
But courtly love in the 14th and 15th centuries flourished, and apparently by the association with the lovebirds of early spring. So the Tweety birds.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Tweeties, they're
right.
blue and yellow in cartoons usually.
And they twitter around your head when you get knocked out.
They do, and they do. Are they? They might
Yeah,
even be blue and yellow when they twitter around your head too.
are yeah.
I
They
think we'll
are
have to
indeed.
find out why they do that for next
Mhm.
week.
Next week. There we go already. We have a last week follow up already. Anyway, so in 18th century England turned into an occasion when the couples expressed their love for each other by presenting flowers,
Oh,
offering confectionery, which is candy.
con- ooh, how
Yes.
sweet!
And sending greeting cards, which were
How
known
nice.
as Valentines. Now,
And if they did that in a hall, that would be the mark of the season.
yes, it would be the hallmark of the season.
Okay, fine.
Anyway, moving along. So it started way back in the 14th and 15th century. Now you hear all the time people say Valentine's Day was made up by the greeting cards company so that we could sell more candy and cards. But that's not really the truth.
That's not really the. Even I know that. So
Yeah, right. Yeah. So they just capitalized on an event that was already happening. So since the 19th century, Valentine's symbols, of course, were the heart-shaped outline, doves, and the figure of the winged Cupid, which is the little guy with the arrows that shoots to make you fall smitten in love with your partner.
So were the doves because to represent peace, or where did they come in?
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Okay. Oh yeah, like you said. Okay, I'm catching up.
So, and since the 19th century, handwritten Valentines have given way to mass-produced greeting cards. And in Italy, Saint Valentine's keys like car
So like
keys.
the ones you use in doors and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah, are given to lovers as a romantic symbol and an invitation to unlock the giver's heart.
Oh. Kind of like when
Eh,
you see the puppies and their masters. The puppies
that's
have
right.
the locks around
With
their
the lock and the little key.
I
Yeah,
love
right.
it.
Yeah.
I'm loving
So-
this holiday.
And they also give the keys to children to ward off epilepsy. Now, why that is a thing in Italy, I don't know.
Really? Wait,
Yes.
no. Did you make that up, or is that a
Nope.
thing that you
Nope,
just said?
that's the thing. Yes.
Okay.
Because epilepsy is called the St. Valentine's malady. Not melody, but malady.
There is no melodic about that, and
No.
it's like
Yep.
a very bad gloomy melody. Wow, that is something I'd not heard. Okay, good.
So there you go.
stuff.
So, and that was your history with Barely.
I learned a lot there. Thank you for that,
Mhm.
especially the epilepsy thing. I can't
I
wrap
know,
my mind around that. But follow up for next week, another one. This epilepsy. Why did they do that for I don't have anything for that.
Well, it's almost time for the 5-minute furs for fun posting.
5-minute first for fun posting.
All right, so I'm going to post the link. And normally about this time we have our mailbag, but we have no messages this week, so there's no mailbag. Speaking of that, so when I was in the 6th grade, I was walking to school one morning, and there, laying on the ground, was a literal mailbag. It was the mail carrier's bag
Okay.
that I guess he dropped, and
Didn't go back to pick it up.
there were no letters in it, but I picked it up and I used that as a book bag for like the next 4 years at school.
So you did have your mail bag. See?
I did have a mail bag. I was a male and I had a mail bag. So let's get into, while we're waiting for someone to come into the 5-minute furs, if they're going to. So last week's follow up. During trivia last week, I had to paint the picture because you connected some really weird dots.
Me? What?
Your puppy logic connected a Chinese dynasty with the Wall Street Journal and the book Dianetics.
Oh yeah, that
Now,
happened. I did that.
and you were like, I don't know why Dianetics was in my brain. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, okay.
It's a book by science fiction writer L. Ron Hubbard, who is the founder of, well, I might be wrong. I'll have to have our chief fact checker check this out. But I think he's either the founder of or the father of, there's a difference, of the Church of
True.
Scientology. He wrote the book Dianetics, which is derived from the Greek meaning through and nous meaning mind or soul. And Dianetics refers to what the soul is doing to the body. So when the mind adversely affects the body, it is described as a psychosomatic condition. You've heard of this, I'm sure.
Oh,
Psychosomatic
I've heard
illnesses.
these words. There's a lot of,
Mhm.
like, letters put together in what's known as a word, and I think I've heard
Yes.
these letters in that same concatenation before.
Concatenation. You used a big word, Taebyn.
How did I do Kitty Nation? How'd I do that? Kitty Nation? I wanna go to Kitty Nation.
So, psycho refers to the mind or the soul, and
Mhm.
somatic means the body. Thus, psychosomatic illnesses are physical illnesses caused by the soul. So,
Oh,
this
okay.
whole belief structure is the founding of the Church of Scientology.
Oh, like Tom Cruise and stuff.
Right. Or his brother John, as you mentioned last week.
That's right. I did. That's a very true thing. So, we've got brothers in the church. We got it going on. Okay.
So, a couple of weeks ago and last week, we made a throwback last week to the week before about a horse and a cowboy.
Sorry, okay. Yes,
Right?
yes, we
Yeah,
did. Yes.
a horse and a cowboy, and because of that, I have joined you well, I didn't do it with you, but I have joined you in your
Mm.
ability to record songs, and so I recorded a song to play on the podcast.
So there are my mind's going several different ways on that. One, I have an ability.
You do have an ability.
Okay, I will look into this. Thank you. Maybe I'll report on this next week. I'll have to figure that out. And you did a thing with the record, like, you do we get to hear this song?
Well, yes, let's give it a listen, shall we?
I wanna give this a listen, shall we?
As I walked out on the streets of Laredo, as I walked out in Laredo one day, I spied a young cowboy all dressed in white linen, all dressed in white linen, as cold as the clay. I can see by your outfit that you are a cowboy. I can see by your outfit that you're a cowboy too. You can see by our outfits that we are both cowboys. Get yourself an outfit, you can be a cowboy too. Get yourself an outfit, you can be a cowboy too. Okay, so there was my song. What did you think?
I thought it was amazing and beautiful, and I cried a little bit, and I want you to teach me how to sing and record and everything. So, thank you for that,
Well, you already record and sing, so you already know how to do that.
but not as good as you, Mr.
Aw, you're
Betty.
so sweet. You're so sweet.
Well, I'm like those, what was that word that I learned? Because the confectionery.
Confectionery.
I am now a confectionery pup.
All right, so let's go to media. Okay, well, nobody came into the 5 minute furs, so we're gonna move along. I finished the show Bonding, which I told you to take a look at the little short episodes. Several episodes into Bridgerton.
What's Bridgerton?
It's on Netflix. It's I talked about this last week.
Oh, we
Yeah,
did?
yeah.
Is um
I said I said it's like Downton Abbey with sex and scandal.
Oh, yes, 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 yeah, that one, I remember.
So, and I started the newest season of The Expanse on Amazon Prime, and I'm trying to read more books, but I'm not succeeding.
Oh, well, I know that me too, but I'm not. I have a bunch of books I wanna read, but, well, I'm
Mhm.
not succeeding. So The Expanse, I don't know, I haven't heard of that. What's that about?
It's a sci-fi show. It's on Amazon Prime. It's set way in a alternate future of the Earth where Earth has colonized Mars
Oh.
and Mars has declared independence from Earth.
Oh, Mars.
Then you have people that live out in the asteroid belt because they mine the asteroid belt for resources.
There are so many bad puns between Astral Belt and mine and,
And Mars.
And Mars, oh my lord, you have no idea how much restraint I'm using right now. So I'm going to let you continue.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's got so much restraint, he's in a straitjacket.
I am in a very gay jacket, that's for sure.
But that's what that is. That's what it's a very good show. They're 5 seasons in, so
Oh,
there's
really? So it's been around a while.
it's been around a while. It's really, really, really good. If you have Amazon Prime Video, I highly suggest it.
And if there's any funny spots, I'll definitely snicker at it. There's Mars, and I will snicker.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
hi. My name is
Hi.
Taebyn. I am a pup. Bark, bark.
Speaking of that, in the future, we have a guest coming on several episodes from now by the name of Om Nom 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 Nom.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Nom. Yes.
Om Nom 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 Nom. That's his full name, by the way. He agreed to come on the show if we would donate at least $1 to a charity every time Taebyn says the phrase.
I'm a pup.
And we agreed to do that. And Taebyn's hubby and my hubby and our chief fact checker also agreed to donate $1 every time Taebyn says the words.
I'm a pup.
So we're up to $4 in utterance when Om Nom is on the show, and we're going to do that for the entire show.
Oh, the entire one, not just the
just
interview part, but the whole
not
thing.
just the interview,
Okay.
but the entire show. Yes. So
That's good.
and,
That's good to know.
Yeah,
Was this going to be charities of his choice, or what's the charity? Do we know yet?
we don't know yet.
Okay.
So Taebyn, what have you been watching, and what's your media this week? Anything?
We've been watching the next season of Community. We've talked about that before.
Oh
Great.
yeah. Yep.
Well, I mean, I say great show, and the first few seasons were great. Then they kind of like went hills and valleys and stuff. It got better, and so we've been watching the next. We've watched a few episodes since then, and it's better. It's a little better. You might remember a while ago I talked about how I had finished F is for Family on my own, but then my hubby hadn't seen it, so we started over, and we finished season 3, I think, a week ago.
Oh,
and there's
cool.
4 seasons out right now. So, but anyway, that's where we are. And we talked, as for movies, we talked about watching Rocket Man, but he knew something that I didn't. And I knew I hadn't seen it, but what I'd heard is it's very depressing. And I said that. And I was like, so I don't think we should watch it. So we didn't watch it.
I didn't find it depressing.
Oh, really? I wonder where I heard that then.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll give it a chance then.
I mean, it deals with a dark subject. I mean, it deals with his drug addiction and how he gets over it. We're talking about Elton John now. So,
Yes. For
it's
anyone
just
that doesn't know.
we're not talking about Taebyn's drug addiction and how he got over it. But
Because I'm not over it yet, right?
you're not over it yet at all. No, I'm not over mine either.
I still
But,
like my bacon, so
yes. And I still like my chocolate chip cookies. So there we are. I loved it. I loved that movie.
okay. No, we'll give it a chance then.
Yeah, totally give it a chance.
And it's a good that I don't have your addiction of chocolate chip cookies because I would totally die from it because like chocolate and I am a pup. So
There's really not a whole lot of chocolate in chocolate chip cookies. It's all fake
it's
stuff.
true. It's true.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I love the cookie dough though. Oh my cow. I haven't had chocolate chip cookie dough for so long. I want chocolate chip cookie dough so bad right now. I'm gonna cry.
Well, maybe your hubby will give you some for Valentine's Day tomorrow. Any other media?
Yes, actually, I have some news, and this is something I didn't know about. So there's this movie called Sheep and Wolves. Have you heard of this show?
I have not heard of this show.
I actually have not until like just the other day. It's a movie, Sheep
Okay.
and Wolves, and I'm actually really excited to watch it. So I'm really glad I found out about this. It's an anthropomorphic animated thing. It's Russian originally from in 2016. And the Russian, I'm going to totally botch this because I don't speak Russian. But the original Russian title is Volki I Voltsi Bizimo Privrashashani, which translates to wolves and sheep, crazy transformation.
Okay. Well, there you are.
So I apologize to any Russian furs out there, but no, it sounds actually really good. So that was in Russian 2016. In the US release was 2019, so 3 years later. And let me read a little plot summary about it. In a magical faraway land, in a picturesque little village nestled among green meadows and rolling hills, lives a flock of carefree sheep. but their pastoral and stress-free lives, not pastoral, they don't, maybe they go to church, but I should say
Maybe.
they're pastoral. There's a difference there. There's a total difference there.
Bless you, my
They're,
son.
oh my! Their pastoral and stress-free life is interrupted when a pack of wolves sets upon camp in a nearby ravine.
Oh,
In
no.
accordance, I know this is getting scary already. In accordance with ancient traditions, the retiring pack leader Majira announces that his future successor must prove his right to lead by vanquishing his rivals. When the powerful and bloodthirsty Raygir steps forward, the only wolf bear enough to challenge him is Gray, the pack's favorite, but a hopeless goofball. To become a leader and win back Bianca's love. Now, I don't know who Bianca is because it's not in the synopsis, but apparently there's Bianca. And Gray needs to win back Bianca's love. So now we're caught up. Win
Okay.
back Bianca's love. Gray goes off into the woods where he discovers a camp of gypsy rabbits.
Wow.
This is just a synopsis. I didn't even, there's Bianca.
I don't need to watch the movie now.
I know, this is so mind-blowing. Like there's Bianca. I don't know who that is. There's a gypsy rabbit. The fortune teller rabbit mommy gives him a magical transmutation potion. Gray drinks the potion and goes back to the wolf's den, but finds out upon arrival that he has been transformed into, wait for it, a ram.
Oh,
Yeah.
a ram. Okay,
Yeah.
well,
And
a
that's
Dodge Ram?
Well, I don't think he has 4 doors and a hunchback. So
Oh, okay.
no. But so there's that. I'm actually looking forward to. I want to check it out. I'm looking forward to watching it. It has 5.8 out of 10 stars on IMDb, but 8.7% on Rotten Tomatoes. And it turns out that there is a sequel. It's called Wolves and Sheep's: Pig Deal. And in Russian, I have to say, it's called, Russian pronunciation I can't do, but it's called Volki I Uvsi Hod Spiny. Spiny for pig, I assume. And the original was actually, of that sequel, was released in 2019. And the US release was actually January 29th of this year. So
Oh,
not
wow.
even a month ago. It sounds, the synopsis sounds Zootopia-esque.
Yeah, it does.
Very, very vaguely. So it'll
Yeah.
be good. So I have to say, so I was looking through just a few reviews of the sequel, Sheep and Wolves Pig Deal. I have to just say this comment because it's awesome. So this is the sequel. He gave it 1 star, and he said, first one was better, honestly. This one failed to capture the essence of the original. And honestly, I don't even like sheep that much. They scare me a little.
Okay.
So I thought that was a good way to end the review of all that. So there's that anyway.
So, Furs, there you go. 2 new movies to watch. There you
Yep,
are.
I'm looking forward to it, definitely.
I think it is time to bring on our guest.
Yes. Oh, yeah, we have a guest. I've been talking this whole time. I'm so sorry. Yes, we have a guest even.
Our amazing guest this week is Finn, bringer of love.
Finn, the raccoon, the bringer of love. You know him. You love him. Let's talk to the wonderful raccoon.
Joining us today is Finn, bringer of love.
Love.
And so to start that right off, I want to know why you are the bringer of love. What makes you the bringer of love?
Honestly, I don't really know how it started out. Like back when I joined Twitter, most of what I did was just talking to people and, doing the good vibes thing, just basically being kind of a motivational speaker. And some people basically called me bringer of love all the time. So at some point, I just made it my name, and that's what it's been for.
And made it yours.
Yeah.
That's exciting. And so
it's got put into my chest like a badge at this point.
I see. Whenever I hear it in the back of my head is the Beatles song, All You Need Is Love. Every time somebody says, Finn, bringer of love, that's what I hear in my head.
if you have pudding in your chest, does that mean you just had lunch? Like that was your dessert? The pudding?
No.
No, okay.
No.
No. I'm just wondering.
Also, having lunch at 9 p.m. would be kind of off. Like I
Yes.
said, I fixed my sleep schedule.
Yeah, right. So maybe like a week ago, that would have been your lunch hour.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But you're back on track. That's right. You're in Germany. Oh, and in case I hadn't officially done this yet, hi, my name is Taebyn. I'm a pup. Thanks for being on the show, like Barely already said. But I thank you for being here too and stuff.
And thank you for the invite.
You're quite welcome.
No problem. So I have to know the devil's lettuce.
Yeah. Devil's lettuce.
And
What is
I
the
think you're
devil's
going to have to
lettuce?
give us something about that. Yeah. So what is that?
Wait, are you asking what the devil's lettuce is?
I am asking what the devil's lettuce is. I'm a pup. I don't know many things.
My good friend, the devil's lettuce is also known as, weed.
Oh, weed. Okay. So why is that a question, Taebyn? I have to ask you that question.
Yeah, that's the question.
Question begets question. Well, because I saw on your one of your websites that you said what you like to do for hobbies and something, and
Oh, right.
and I saw that, and it's like, I don't know, are you like a bunny, a naughty bunny at sometimes or something? Because but I didn't know. I don't understand things. But okay, so they're weeds. So like you have to put poison on them so that they don't grow and strangle your flowers. And so you're a gardening panda.
Sure.
No.
No?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gardening in my head sometimes. Just
Yes.
Okay, good. Good to know. So, speaking of which, then, how long have you been in the fandom, and what brought you to this wonderful thing we call the furry fandom?
Well, so officially, I'd say November 2016? Yeah, pretty much. That was the time I kind of realized what furries actually are. So before that, I was pretty much all into that anthro stuff and animal characters, Disney characters, that kind of stuff. But I didn't really know there's a community behind it and that it has a name. And as soon as I found out, I basically dived head in.
Well, I mean, good for you. I think that's the way to go.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's been a wild ride. Like basically October 2016, I found out, like late October, I found out what a furry was because 2016 was the year when Zootopia came out in the summer, right?
Oh, yeah.
I was all over that, and I spent a lot of time in the Zootopia subreddit. And in the comments, people always talked about furries, and wow, everyone who watched Zootopia is now a furry. And I was like, what the hell is a furry?
What is this talking about? Yeah.
So I kind of went down that rabbit hole, and then I saw, oh, these are my people, bro. So
Exactly.
November, I became a furry, and in December, I had my first furry Discord server.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
When you say you went all in, didn't you?
I went all in.
Wow.
No, that's wonderful. We needed some fur to bring the loves at some point, so there it is. And so you are in Germany.
Ja, das ist richtig.
I don't know why I say it like that, but apparently that's I don't know, I did that. And so what time is it for you there? Because it's a little after noon for us here.
Yeah, it's 9 p.m. for me right now.
Wow, that's craziness. You're in the future. What's it like in the future?
Dark.
We have that to look forward to.
Same old, my dude.
I never would have guessed it. That's great. And so what's it like? Is it any different, do you think, being a furry in Germany? I mean, because, I ask that because, you've got a different culture over there than here in America and those sorts of things. So do you think there's any sort of difference to be a furry over there in Germany?
Well, definitely. There's definitely a difference, yeah. If I recall correctly, you talked to First Science at some point.
We did.
And if I recall correctly, First Science did a study once, or just someone did a study where they tried to find out furries in Europe, like where are the most furries. And Germany probably has the highest density of furries, or at least people who are inclined towards furries in one way or another. And that's already a thing in itself. So over here, furries are quite known and quite liked. We have quite a few German celebrities visiting Eurofurence every now and then as well.
Wow. I had no idea. I mean, I knew it was a big thing over there, but I didn't realize it was that big. So, I mean, and And that's interesting because, like, if you look at, like, for FurCon attendance and everything, the top 6, 7, whatever biggest ones are over here in the States. But is it just because there's not as many cons over there, or why do you think that is?
I would say that's because that there's not as many people as here. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
if you compare the US or like America as a whole to Europe and Germany, you have a lot more people. Eurofurence here in Germany, in Berlin, is, as far as I know, the biggest FurCon in Europe.
Yeah, definitely.
Though, correct me if I'm wrong. And we definitely have quite a lot of furries. And there's so many local kind of furry meetups as well. So there's a lot going on here, but most of them are quite, let's say, traditional. So people like me are kind of the exception, like very international, very much on the English side, talking to people outside of Germany. German culture is very in itself, mostly because Germany is kind of, they don't like going out of the comfort zone, usually.
I understand how that goes.
Yeah, the younger generations do, because they do tend to, because they basically grew up with the internet and Twitter, Instagram, whatever. The connection is there. But from my experience, I met a lot of furries who are like 30 plus, and they usually hang out only in their own groups. There's a big German forum base, kind of thing, Furbase, I think is the name.
Okay.
Furbase. Okay.
Yeah, Furbase. Yeah, I think Furbase is the name.
Makes sense to me.
And yeah, so there's a lot of German furries going on that are just mostly just sticking to Germans and themselves.
Okay, I see. No, that's really good to know. And I mean, duh. I mean, I guess if I would have thought about it, I would have answered my own question. The US population is more than that. So of course, anyway, duh. But no, that's really good to know that it's so well accepted over there. That's beautiful. Have you been to many fur cons? Like, and are only in Europe or also in America?
Here's the kicker: I have actually never been to a FurCon yet. I've been to a couple fur meets, like a couple local fur meets and fur walks, that kind of stuff. And I've been to one convention, but that was actually an anime convention, the Dokumi in Düsseldorf.
Okay.
And there was a huge furry meetup there as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna let that count.
Okay, so you had a furry meetup at a anime con. So that's a good crossover.
I've always wanted to go to some cons though. Like last year, I wanted to go to Eurofurence, but money was kind of tight because I moved. And last year, I also wanted to go to, what was it? The one in Birmingham, in England.
Okay.
I don't know what's the name right now. I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, I wanted to go there. That was supposed to be in May 2020, and we all know what happened with that.
Well, yeah, we know what happened there, don't we?
So two things I have to say. One is, and I've never been to an anime or con or Comic Con myself, but I hear that there's kind of, I don't know if big is the word, but there's a quote unquote big kind of furry presence at those things too. So I'm not surprised to hear that. And the second thing was, I want you to say again that what did he say? You said, here's the kicker. I've never actually been to a FurCon. Say that again.
Yeah,
there's a reason for this.
Yeah, I've never been to a FurCon yet, mostly because timing and money. Like I've tried to go to so many, but it never worked out on either timing or money. Just it was always kind of better spend elsewhere, or something came up. So
I'm not doing
a victim of circumstances.
I'm not doing a good job of making you do what I want you to do. So okay, I'll try. So say that again and then stop, because then I have something I want to say. This is going to be so stupid now that I'm trying so hard to make this work. But I've been working really hard at this, so I feel that we really need to go through with this. Let's
all right,
hold on together.
Okay.
Wait, everybody stop. I think what he wants you to say is the actual words. Here's the kicker.
All right, here's the kicker. I've never actually been to a FurCon.
Dun dun dun.
All that.
Wow, that was it.
That was what I was trying to get us to do, but there came a point in me trying to get us to do that where I thought, just let it go. Then I thought, I am a tenacious pup. I am determined to make this happen.
Finn, do you see what I have put up with, Finn? He's one of my bestest friends in the whole world, but oh my gosh, sometimes he's so hard to keep reined in. I don't know.
Your best friends are always the ones you hate the most, right?
Right, right, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's move along to let's talk about Fuzznet. This is something that you created. I think this is probably one of the things that you when you said you went all in, you probably went all in on this too, didn't you?
Oh, I did. I did. Yeah, it's still quite a young project. All in all, I think it started around late 2019.
Okay.
Like officially with the Fuzznet name. I tried different projects and community projects like that, mostly based on Discord.
Okay.
But Fuzznet is the first time I actually tried something that was of my own, like with its own website and its own presence across platforms instead of being centralized to something. And it's basically become a culmination of all my ideas and projects. So whatever I do and create or do together with other people in collaboration, it's all happening under the Fuzznet name. So my YouTube channel, my arts, it's all happening under the Fuzznet name.
Okay. All right.
That's kind of the idea behind it.
So that's the overarching company, if you will.
Yeah, you could call it that. Yeah.
So what does Fuzznet do then?
So there's actually quite a lot. So in the beginning, it was basically just kind of a brand name of what I do, like with my art and my YouTube channel. Then it became kind of a carrier for the sub projects. So the first thing I did was a Twitter account called Furries Confess, which is basically your standard confession board, which you may have seen on Facebook or Twitter before, but specifically tailored to furries, like an anonymous confessions board where you send in your confession, what you did or done or how you feel, and it's going to be posted anonymously with a nice picture, basically. So that was the first simple idea. And then
So wait a minute, let's go back to that. So what was the most oddest thing on the confession board that got posted?
oh god, I couldn't name that. So behind the scenes, there's actually a lot of confessions which I unfortunately have to delete because either they're a little overboard, like not something I'd be comfortable actually posting.
Oh no.
Because mixed audiences and stuff, I just couldn't post that kind of stuff. Other stuff kind of just missed the point, what it's about, and shared some things and stories which just don't belong anywhere outside your head.
Okay.
I could see how this sort of thing could open up for all of that.
Yeah, it's really hard. Like if you make an anonymous space, people are gonna come in and take advantage of it, of course. Yeah, but for the most part,
Is it still there, or did you take that part down?
oh no, it's still there. I'm just it's basically a little form you submit on the website, and then I get an email and I go through them. I have someone to help me with that from time to time.
Okay.
And yeah, we're basically reading through them, filtering them out, and then putting them into the format. And another thing which is a bit of a special in that, it's not just the confession being posted, but I try as much as I can to basically add a little comment or advice whenever I can to it.
So you're kind of the Dear Abby of the furry world.
Nah, well, I don't want to go that far. I'm just
Let's not go that far.
Okay.
I just if I have something to add that might help, then I'll just do that. Just adding a little personal note to it.
Yeah, nice.
I could just say, Dear Trash Panda, I walked in on my roommate making out with my fur head. What should I do?
Join in, of course.
Yes.
Or, Dear Trash Panda, I found my dog rummaging around in my trash, and it's mine. So what should I do about that?
Right?
Fight him to death.
There
Fight
you
to the
are.
death, to the fluff. So to get back to Bearley's question, what was the most crazy thing that was there?
Someone literally admitting to murder.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no. Oh shy.
Well, as you said, if you make something anonymous that they can just go around and say things, then they're gonna do it.
Wow.
Yeah, I think on that note, like there's a couple people I've seen that tried a similar thing, like with this anonymous submissions board, and just getting it out there. I have to say, if you don't have a strong mind, like if you're easy-hearted, lighthearted, then don't do it. It's not gonna end well. Reading through all that stuff, it's like if you can't handle it, it's gonna really tear you down.
Wow.
So this sounds like something this pup should not take part in. I'm a little bit of a sensitive pup. In fact, I'm a lot bit of a sensitive pup. So yeah, I probably shouldn't do that.
Probably
But
shouldn't do that,
so
Taebyn.
thank you for first like you that can do this so that I don't have to go through that pain and suffering or something.
Yeah, it's pretty much the hardest thing of it. Like I always kind of feel bad deciding what is gonna be posted and what is not. Like deciding for other people, okay, is this gonna be okay? Is this gonna make anyone feel bad when they read it? Just that content moderation. It's a really hard job, and I try my best to do it right. I think so far worked out pretty well. I had one time where let something through, which was a discussion about body positivity, body health, and that one kind of backfired. And of course, a lot of blame came onto me for letting that one pass.
Well, we love you anyway.
But overall, it went well.
Okay, good. The love continues on. That's good. So that's a part of the Fuzznet world and music and this overarching thing. And there's, of course, lots of different facets and components to the Fuzznet world and music. What made you want to bring this? What was the first impetus? I think is the word. This is a big word for a pup like me to know. So I'm going to say it and assume I'm using the word right. What was the initial impetus for this? And how has it grown and shaped? And how does it stand today?
Well, I'd say I've always been a raccoon of ideas. Like, I'm always sitting in my, lying in my bed at night thinking, hey, what could I do? Like, thinking of the next cool idea that I could maybe try. I've had so many projects and servers and whatever that I was either part of or made myself that I at least wanted to try out and see, okay, what might people think of that? Because I always try to make people smile or feel good or just have something that they can do, or if they do something, help them create it. So that's also the thing why Fuzznet music basically is a thing, right?
Okay. Yes. Yeah. I was looking around at that the other day, and yeah, you've got a lot of. You're allowing. So tell me if I get this right. I don't know if I got it completely right, but you have this nice big space where you can let other furs come on, and you host their music so that you can get their music out there. Am I saying this right?
Yeah. So in simplified form, we kind of went away from that definition. You could call it a label. Although we're switching over to music collective just because that's by definition a bit more accurate of what we do. Basically, the idea behind it is that I'm using my knowledge because I work as a social media marketing manager.
Ah, okay.
So I use my knowledge and the support I have from my platform I built on Twitter and the funds I, for example, get from Patreon to basically support these music creators and distribute their music, help them build themselves up, and just get their music out there, get heard.
Yeah, I was listening to just a few tracks just this morning, and there's some good. I mean, we all know there's a lot of creativity in the fandom, and but I was just listening to a few random tracks and on Fuzznet music, and yeah, they're pretty good stuff. I'm glad you can help get that out. And I apologize if you said this before, but Fuzznet World, does it also host and help other artists, or what is kind of the Fuzznet World part of it?
The Fuzznet World part is more the community part. So
Okay.
Fuzznet World in itself is basically, I have a Telegram group and I have a Discord server.
I joined the Telegram group just yesterday, I think, or day before, recently.
Yeah, and there the idea is just to have people connect with each other and share their thoughts and share their stuff. So I'm very open about people sharing their work and what they did, be it art or music or just any kind of ideas.
Nice.
Basically just the sharing is caring approach, trying to help each other out. That's basically the idea behind it and just connect people.
I like it.
That's also the way how I found a lot of the people I'm working with at this point, especially like in Fuzznet music and all that. And when I'm just looking for people who I might work with next, be it especially like artists as well, or people who draw like the posters. I'm just looking out for people, basically, just finding them there.
That's great. That's wonderful. And hi, I had a thought, and where was my fluff? It went away. Oh, look, my fluff is back. Oh well, first I should say, since we're on that note, so you mentioned there's a Telegram group, and that's where they just search for Fuzznet World.
Yeah.
I'm actually on Telegram right now. So there's Fuzznet Chat and Fuzznet World. Are you both of them, or is that somebody else's?
Wait, hang on.
So there's one that's got like an orange guy. And he's only
Oh,
got 4 members in it, and then there's another one that's like almost a Wi-Fi symbol made into a raccoon.
yeah.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi logo, that one's me. Like that
That's you.
one's Fuzznet. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one has 310 members. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Oh, and look, barely you just joined.
I did, but I want to make sure I
I'm
joined the
looking
right
at
one.
it now. You just joined.
Welcome to the family.
Well, thank you very much. Hopefully, we can post our links to our podcast there.
Oh yeah, of course.
Of course, of course. So the music. Now, do you search out artists or do they come to you? How does that work?
Kind of both. Especially in the beginning,
Right.
I spent a lot of hours scouting people. I basically did keyword searches on Twitter. I went over to SoundCloud and Spotify to find connected artists to furry artists I knew.
Okay.
And I also went to Fur Affinity. There's this big furry musicians group. And I went through all the posts. Like I went all the way back to I think 2017 or something. And I checked out almost every single artist. And if I liked the music and I was able to find any kind of contact details, I just hit them up with a message and asked them if they'd like the idea of it and if they'd like to join. Basically dealt that out with them.
That's kind of what I'm doing with the podcast. I just kind of reach out to folks and say, hi.
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 Since it grew in size and popularity since then, I might add it only started last year in September, so it's still a
Oh,
very
really?
very fresh project. Yeah.
I thought it was several years old. Okay.
No, it's actually only a few months old. Since
Very
then,
cool.
it became something that is actually being talked about, and I received a lot of requests and demos since then.
Very
Good.
cool.
So I don't really have to reach out myself again. People are just coming over, and I'm checking their stuff
At
out.
this point, they know.
Very cool. That's good.
Great.
Yeah.
And so you beyond that, I mean, that's of course your big endeavor right now, but you're also a graphic designer too. Something you do artwork.
Yes, I do. I've been into artwork ever since I've been 12 or 13 or something.
Okay.
When I cracked Photoshop for the first time. And
Nice.
just did some work. So before I became a furry, I've been a lot into the YouTube gaming scene and did a lot of kind of training work, like for any kind of people who need a logo or a nice picture or a nice banner. I just did that for them
Cool.
if I like them. And that's kind of how I learned to handle Photoshop. And it's became like quite a big hobby of mine to just go into graphics design and develop some knowledge with it. And that's a thing I do on the side now as well.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So you do some sort of commission work right now. Of course, as we say, it's not your main focus right now, but you still dabble and help furs out.
Yeah.
Do you stream at all?
I do, yeah. Not too regularly, but I try to do it as often as I can.
Mhm.
Nice.
It's really fun. Yeah.
Is it mostly gaming streaming then, since you're a gaming panda?
Yeah, mostly gaming. I did a couple talk streams as well. Like kind of a mix of both, basically.
All right.
I keep calling you panda. You're not panda. I'm not even assuming your species because I know your species. I'm just blatantly like saying panda. Like, what is wrong with me? I am such a horrible pup.
Yeah, always when I join any kind of game, my tag on pretty much every platform is TraaaashPanda, and people always call me Panda.
Okay, so I'm not
Well, I
the
guess it's better than calling you trash.
yeah. there is that.
Hey, trash, how you doing?
Yeah, people being considerate, I guess.
Hey, trash. How you doing with that trash?
Although to be fair, that wouldn't be too far off.
Okay. Oh, okay.
There we go. But just to get the record straight for any of our listeners out there, Finn is a raccoon, not a panda.
Right.
That is correct.
Right.
Only I don't know where else I'm going with that, but that's great.
Get on with it.
We've talked about a little bit about are there any other social medias or websites or like streaming sites that we should look for you on, find your artwork and your streaming and all that good stuff?
Well, you can pretty much find everything on my website. I'm mostly active on Twitter. That's where all my stuff is first posted, and Twitter is basically first. I'm streaming on Twitch, and I'm posting music videos and some videos of me and some stream replays on YouTube.
Cool.
And then I dabble around a bit on Telegram program in Discord. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I tried Instagram, but for some reason I just randomly got banned someday because Instagram, I guess.
Huh.
Okay. Well, Instagram saw we've got a trash panda here, and we've already got enough trash on this site. No, I'm naughty. And you have a YouTube, and you have this wonderful video about facts, little known or very well known facts about raccoons on your YouTube. That shout out to that.
That was a fun video to make. Yeah.
I loved it. It was very, very great.
So now, if I recall, are raccoons an animal over in Germany?
Yes, very much so.
Well, obviously they're an animal everywhere in the world. But what I meant was, are they out in the wild or in the neighborhoods? Like in America, they're all over the place, and they're literally. I mean, the reason it's called a trash panda is because they get into your trash, and they are just they run amok around here. Is that the way it is in Germany?
Yeah, Germany actually has the highest population of raccoons in all of Europe. The second largest population is about in Western Russia, and all the rest is just spread out over West and East Europe. But Germany has pretty much the most of them. Like Central Europe has the biggest amount of raccoons, and they're both in cities and in the wild. Like if you go around in the evening or night, and especially like in the outskirts or anything, you have high chances to run into a raccoon sooner or later. And the good thing about raccoons in Europe is that we basically are rabies free since the 50s, 60s or something.
Wow. Well, good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool thing. So
that's a pretty cool thing. So you can run right up and pet them, and when they bite you, you can go, "Ouch! I don't have to worry about."
Yeah, you can find them for your trash basically without having to worry to die on the next day.
Well, that's good.
It's definitely a plus.
So if you have to like fight an animal for trash, besides the fact that you've got other issues, at least you don't have to worry about rabies. So that's great.
Right.
Yeah.
Are they domesticated at all? I mean, like, do people have them as pets?
Some do. It's you need a license and a lot of like government approvals for that.
Ah, really?
Basically, like on local level, you need a bunch of approvals and licenses that you are allowed to keep raccoons, and you need to provide a home for them, like basically a big roaming place for them, which has to be checked out by an official.
Oh, wow.
Like they have to come to you, check the place out, and say, okay, this one's good for raccoons, and only then are you allowed to actually have raccoons. So let's just say like that. Basically, in most of Europe, there's a lot of legal hurdles to go through to even have the idea to actually keep a raccoon at your place.
Even having an idea. Whoops! I almost had an idea. I almost broke the law right there.
Yeah. And the vast majority of raccoon content that you see online, for example, most of that is actually coming from Russia, because they don't really give a shit, and they have a lot of raccoons over there, and a lot of them just keep raccoons casually, and they don't really have any laws for that. So you have like a lot of videos and pictures you see are mostly domesticated raccoons from Russia.
So are they cuddly? I mean, they've got adorable little cute pawsies and everything, but are they cuddly? I mean, they look cuddly. I've never cuddled a raccoon.
Yeah. So you see, over in Russia, people basically domesticated raccoons. So they have a lot of generations of raccoons that spend time in human care. So the videos and stuff you see from those places where they have raccoons for a long time, they are very inclined to just, cuddle and play around with you.
Oh, I love it.
I've seen a few videos from like German YouTubers who happen to have raccoons or stumbled across basically raccoons that kind of got off on the street or something, or just lost pups who lost their mother or anything, so they took them into care. And there's a very big difference there, because they're a lot more, they're not really aggressive or anything, so they're not going to attack you, but they don't stop. They don't sit down on the couch or anything, because they're destroying your living room. They don't give a damn. They're gonna jump around, they're gonna scratch around, they're gonna destroy your whole house if you're not watching them.
It's kind of like me. I think we get along very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have zero chill.
Zero chill.
Nice.
As we're kind of coming to the end here, you are trilingual, which means, for those that are listening, that you speak 3 languages.
Which means that it's very
That's
hard
right.
to even try that.
Right. That's three tongues,
That was a
Taebyn,
very
three
bad
tongues.
joke that I
Try.
just said.
Yeah. Right. So
Yeah.
for our listeners, I would like you to say the following phrase. Now you already say it. We don't have to say it in English, but so Taebyn is a good boy and he loves raccoons. So say that in Russian.
God, it's hard just translating that off the bat. Basically,
Really? Okay. Okay.
Taebyn, он хороший мальчик, and what? He's a
Taebyn
good
is
boy,
a
and
good
what?
boy, and Taebyn is a good boy, and he loves raccoons.
И он очень-очень любит еноты.
I
Okay.
accept.
And then what would that be in German? What would that sound like in German?
Taebyn ist ein richtig guter Junge und hat Waschbären sehr, sehr gern.
I will trust you
Wow.
on that. And I must say, all your accents are very, like, your English is really good. Your Russian, I don't know anything about Russian, but to me it sounded really good. And believe it or not, your German sounded really good too.
Well, that is the country he lives in.
To be fair, my Russian is very rusty. Like it's been a while since I actually got to speak it. When I was a bit younger, I actually spent some time in Russia a few times.
Mhm.
Back then, my Russian was a lot better. Nowadays, if I actually speak to native Russian, he can pretty much instantly recognize that I'm German.
I see.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how in France, if you go over to France and speak French and you're American, for example, I'm sure probably anything, but they know right away, like, oh, yeah, Americana.
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually always funny because when I speak to a native Russian, when I start speaking Russian, he notices that I'm German, and then they basically compliment me on how well I speak Russian, and then I say, well, I am actually Russian. My family is Russian, and then they say, wow, your Russian is bad.
Oh. Wait, okay, I think that says something right there. Okay, got it.
There we go. There we go. Well, nice.
So is there anything else you would like us and or our listeners to know about you and or your work? I don't know why I say it like that, but there it is.
Oh god damn. I'm
Do that again. I like that sound you just made. It was fun. Yeah. Yes, I like it. Okay. So there's the first thing that we now know about you that we didn't know before.
Yeah, you see, it's kind of a dilemma because I enjoy the spotlight, but I also hate the spotlight. So if someone like tells me, hey, what do you want people to know about you? What do you want to have them check them out? And I'm like, I don't know, just go into my page or something, and there's a few links you can click and check out what I do, where I am. If anything of that speaks to you, great, cool, that's nice, but you don't have to. It's fine.
I'm not gonna force you to go to my website. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, in that case, you can check out my website. If you go like to my website, fuzznet.world/Finn, that is basically my personal page. I put there with all the links and all the stuffs I do and I am at, and that's all where you can find me. And if you want to find out more about me, on Twitter, I have a super big thread, like basically a facts thread with, what is it now, over 400 facts.
Oh, that's a lot of facts.
That's a lot of facts.
It's a long thread.
Wow.
It's a long thread, yeah.
Is it hard to find? I mean, like, because Twitter, right? So, I mean, how can you find that?
How you can find that?
You search Twitter, and then it comes right up, Taebyn.
I have a pinned tweet on my profile.
Oh, I see you have it pinned. Okay, that helped.
With a bunch of links, yeah. And at the bottom there's this one card with one like equals one random fact.
Oh, I saw that.
1,000 likes.
Okay.
It's just a huge
I
list
see.
that goes just on and on and on.
I saw that, but I didn't click on it. So I guess if I would have like done the clickies, I would have like answered my own question. But now we know.
Yes. So we always end our sessions with our guests asking them for a wise word of wisdom to our listeners. And I started calling it your parting shot. So what is your parting shot to our listeners?
I think that's basically the motto I go by. Basically, be the person you always wish you had.
Nice.
Or you wish you have, basically.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I really like going by that.
Very cool.
Yeah. Like if
Well,
you're...
Finn, it's
Hi.
Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead,
I
Taebyn.
wasn't saying anything. I was just gonna hi.
Hi.
My name is Taebyn,
Well,
and I'm a pup. It's nice to meet you, Finn. Thank you for. It's good to meet you. So let's start the show now.
yeah. No, let's end the show now,
Oh,
Taven.
oh,
We
oh, the other
already
way. I
did.
forget
Yes.
things. Okay,
Yes,
got
the
it.
other way. That's at the end. So, Finn, thank you very much for coming on our show. It's always nice to have guests from around the world on our show. It gives us a lot of pleasure
Yeah,
and honor to have you on our show.
yeah.
What honor! I am
Honor.
honored to be here, guys. So, like from my end, big thank you for inviting me, for having me, and giving me a spot. And lovely greetings to all the people down out there who are gonna listen to this.
We have so much mutual honor right now. It's just I feel honored by all the mutual honorship.
Yeah, we're basically bowing down to each other so
Yes.
much
I
that
know.
we hit our
It's
heads.
like,
That's right. We've hit the floor.
I can't even bow any lower. Okay.
All right, Finn. Thanks a lot. We're gonna end this now.
And
Bye
bye
bye.
bye, Brock. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Well,
Well,
Trash Panda, who's not a panda but is a raccoon. What a
and
great
he's
guy.
not a trash either.
He's not trash either, but
No.
very fun to talk to.
Very great guy over in Germany. Yeah, a lot of fun to talk to. Really cool about this Fuzznet World and music that he's doing to try and help promote when like we've talked about. It's great to see these furs out there promoting the fandom and just helping in their own ways. And this is another example of that. And I'm still shocked. I didn't realize it's so young. What did they say?
They said it was September, yeah. So
Yeah.
it was amazing that I was going to bring up the same point. I thought, wow, I thought it had been around for a long time.
Yeah, so did I. But actually, if you go on there, there's a lot of good content there. And as they said, they've got people already, they don't have to reach out. The
No.
furs are coming to them. So
Yeah, that's nice.
pretty
That's
cool.
great.
Yep.
Very cool. Very cool. So now it's time for Furries in the News.
Zen. It's like, is this ever gonna end in? You know where? They are in the news. Cha-cha bark.
That you hit notes that only dogs could hear, I swear.
If you think the podcast is cut out on you for a minute, no, that was just me doing my thing. That's all.
That was just him doing his thing. So there's a few strange stories in the news, and they're furry because, well, they have to do with animals and the word furry. So the first one,
Okay.
apparently there's a elementary school called Furry Elementary.
I don't know where this is going, but this is great.
It's called Furry Elementary,
I want to go.
right?
I totally want to go. I'm only 4.5 years old. I can go.
Right, and it's in Sandusky, Ohio. Technically a furry in the news because the name of the school is Furry Grade School or Furry Elementary.
Elementary school.
And they rescued a pet cockatiel that they
Well,
found.
there you go. It's a total furry in the news thing, definitely.
A pet cockatiel was on their playground just kind of chilling, and they were just
Oh.
kind of.
Was he thinking about going down the slide, but a little scared? So the
I
kids
guess.
were like, "Oh, we're gonna help this
Yeah.
cockatiel out."
They didn't have to capture him; they just went up and picked him up because he climbed on their hand,
Oh.
and they took him in the classroom and cared for him, and they found the owner, and the owner came and reclaimed him. But I just think it's funny that the name of the school is Furry
Yeah,
Elementary.
you don't hear that very often. And it's Ohio. I think that's around where Majira is from, or at one point was from. So I wonder if Majira went there for elementary school.
Maybe.
Majira, if you actually listen to this, and I know you don't, which means I can say anything I want about you because you're not listening. But if on the off chance you are, I apologize for everything I just said. And let us know if you went to Furry Elementary School. Maybe I might just make a tweet about how I did not say bad things about him, but I could have.
You could have, but you didn't.
I love you, Majira. I'm so sorry.
We love you,
I really
Majira,
love
even
so
though you
much.
don't love us. We know you don't love us, but we love you. Anyway, and then have you heard about Staedtler the Fruit Bat?
I saw something about this yesterday. I didn't look into it, so I don't really know, but I saw there was something. What is that about?
He went viral, so to speak. He's a 33-year-old fruit bat. He's actually a flying fox from India.
Oh, really? A flying fox?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So it's a very big Bat. So he lives at the Bat World Sanctuary in Weatherford, Texas.
Oh, but he's in a bat sanctuary. That's so cool.
He is, and the caretakers take care of him. I mean, the longest living fruit bat on record is only 43 years old, so he's got 10 years to go.
Really? 43?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's old. That's old for a bat.
And 33, that's
old.
pretty good.
So he can't fly anymore because he has arthritis, but he likes to spread his wings, and the staff carry him around as he spread his wings,
Oh,
and they carry him from room to room so he can go visit people.
Oh, that is the most adorable thing.
Right?
Oh, my fluff. I want to donate money right now. Like, take my money, please. So every
Right.
fur, please support
Statler the Fruit Bat at the Bat
Yep.
World Sanctuary in Weatherford, Texas.
Texas. Yeah. So every fur support this fluff, because that's
Mhm.
awesome. That is
That's
so
awesome.
awesome.
Yep. So we're in the 2020 Ursa Major Awards. As of today, you have one more day to nominate anybody you want for the awards. Nominations close on February 14th, which is tomorrow. Voting opens on March 1st. So if you nominate, then you can vote on those that were nominated on March 1st.
Our pupcast is in the magazine category. So if you go to magazine category, and that's ursamajorawards.com. And
Yep.
I'm plugging them too at the same time while
yes,
plugging that. So
absolutely.
I feel great about this.
It's
What's happening
mutual
now.
plugging.
Mutual plugging, you know.
You have to log in and create an account so that you're not just, they don't accept anonymous nominations. So it has to be a real person. So go in and nominate us and then vote for us if you want. If you don't, that's okay. There's other things to vote for.
There's a lot of really
Lot of
great. I've
great
thinking through. There's really a lot of great things to vote for, nominate.
And then Dogpatch Press put us on their front page, didn't they?
They put us on their front page for their special feature. In
Yeah.
the February 1st article, like shout out to Patch O'Fur.
Patch O'Fur.
Patch O'Fur, love ya. He was on one of our previous earlier pup-episodes, so check that out. It was fun having him on the show. But he featured us on a special feature, BFFT podcast story. So you can read about it. It is a pretty nice piece. So you can read about our origins and what we do behind the scenes and all that stuff. So check that out and support Dogpatch Press because it's a pretty great fur zine there.
All right. So I understand you have a few questions about something.
I do.
You sounded very excited about that. I'm almost scared.
By this time, of course, anything I say is pretty scary. So I have 5 questions.
Do I have to answer them?
No. In fact,
these-
actually, don't answer
Are these
them.
questions for the Potterverse to answer?
Yes, these are just kind of general. Let's think about this. Take some time to think about it. They're nothing that you can actually answer right away. You definitely have to think about it. 5 questions. First one is, why isn't phonetic spelled the way it sounds?
Good question.
Things that make you go,
Yeah.
Why are there interstate highways in Hawaii? I mean, think about that. Just think about it for a second.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Why do fat chance and slim chance mean the same thing? I mean, come on.
Good questions.
If you tied butter toast to the back of a cat and dropped it from a height, what would happen? And here's why that's a And I had to think about this and ask my hubby actually to explain why that's a Kitties, the thing is they always land on front feet. You toss them off don't toss them off a
Don't
like
toss off
building.
a kitty. No.
But
No, don't
if
do that.
you did, they would land on their front feet. So Murphy's Law says that if you throw a buttered piece of toast off a building, it will always land on the buttered side. So the question is, if you tied a buttered toast to the back of a cat, what would happen? Then the last one is, why is it that when you transport something by car, it's called a shipment, but when you transport something by ship, it's called cargo?
So kind of like a nice SUV. It has cargo space.
No, cargo road. So that's my questions and information for the week, I guess.
You have an upset tummy, don't you?
I did have a little upset little puppy tummy this morning. I didn't know how to take care of it and everything. And my honey actually said, so tea is good if you have an upset tummy. Tea, especially mint tea, is good for the tummy. Had you heard this, Barely?
Minty mint tea?
Mint tea. Well, any kind of mint tea, actually. It turns out it's true. It's tea is good for the tummy, especially mint. So like peppermint, spearmint, I guess just mint, even if there's a mint tea.
Yeah.
So so I tried it and it actually worked. We actually only had lemongrass / spearmint tea, but it was still good and I still think it worked. In the end, though, it was really an experiment. But still, all of that was true about the mint and the tea and stuff. So really, but I was just happy that it ended up in a pun. So yeah.
Okay. So we have taken a lot of time, and I know that you have something math related that you want to talk about.
Yeah, actually, I don't think this won't be too long.
But wait a minute. I need to go do something, so I'm going to let you entertain for a couple of minutes. It's all on you. You have the microphone. You have the entire. You can say anything you want at this point. I'll be right back.
So, hi, every fur out there. How's it going? I don't know. I'm just a pup. I'm just sitting here. I don't even know what's going on. Why is he leaving? He left. He actually just left the room. Barely normal, just left the room. And I don't even know how the Elvis thing goes. Like there's an Elvis where he left the building and like what even happens after that? Like I've always wondered. Elvis leaves the building is a thing. Like, okay, so where did he go? Why do people care? Did he follow him? Did they stay in the building because no one wanted to follow him? And so they just sat around and played Parcheesi in the cheese. Ooh, I like cheese. Do you like pepper jack? I like pepper jack cheese a lot. Pepper jack cheese. It's so good. It's like really good on like things. Cheese in general is good. Cheddar cheese and everything like that. And do you ever put cheese on a road? If you put cheese on a road, then it would be very tired by all the cars that drove on it. And why do they call parkways driveways? Because you park on a driveway, but then you drive on a parkway. What's that about? And why did the cheese have anything to do with that? Oh, hi, Barely, you're back. Okay, hi.
I'm back. I apologize for everyone in case he said anything off color.
There was a lot of offs. That just happened.
Okay. All right. So let's get to your math.
So I have two little things, and I don't think they'll take long. So my first thing is, I was thinking about infinity. I had that episode where I talked about like different levels of infinity, and this is kind of like along those lines in a way about things going on forever. You might have or might not have heard of. Have you heard that the number 0.999999 and repeating forever actually equals the number 1?
Huh? I have not.
This is a true thing, actually, and it's a little counterintuitive, but it's true. 0.99999 and going on forever equals 1. And I want to prove this to you, but this requires writing, like take a pen.
Ladies and gentlemen, furs of all nations, this always turns bad when I have to write stuff down.
So anyone listening to this, any fur, sorry, I'm so specious. Any fur listening to this, go ahead and try that. I mean, it's really simple algebra. It doesn't take long to write this down. So let x be a variable that equals 0.99999 repeating forever. So just write 0.9999 and then ... I
always put a little line over the top of the last 9.
Very good. That is the notation. I am so proud of you, Barely. Wow. Yep. I actually did not know you knew. I'm very proud, actually. So what do you get if you take 10 times x?
Well, you get that with a 0 on the end.
No, 10 times. So 9.99999. 9 point that you've multiplied by 10.
Okay, so it's 9.999999999999999999999.
Are you trying to sing again?
No, I'm good.
So you have x equals 0.99999 forever, and 10x equals 9.999 forever. Now, but on the other paw, what is x plus 9?
9.999999999.
Exactly. So we have that 10x equals x plus 9. So write that down. 10x equals x plus 9.
Equals x plus 9.
Now subtract x from both sides. What do you get?
10 equals 9.
No, subtract x from both sides. Your
Your
algebra skills are showing, or lack thereof.
my lack of algebra skills are showing. So you subtract x, so you have 10 equals. I still say 10 equals 9.
10x minus x equals 9.
Okay, 10x
I
minus
love
x
you so much.
equals 9. Okay, I'll believe you.
X equals 9. So you get 9x equals 9.
And x equals 9. Okay.
So now solve for x.
X equals 1.
Yes. So x equals 0.999 forever, but also x equals 1. There you go. So indeed, 0.999 forever equals 1, which also means that 1 minus 0.999 forever isn't just some really, really small number or something. It actually equals 0. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So that's pretty cool anyway.
I feel like there's a mathematician out there that has lost his mind over this particular problem.
I'm pretty sure most of them have, actually.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm in a math first chat, so maybe we should make them listen to this episode and see what they think. So number 2. Barely. I want you to add up some numbers. You don't have to even write them down. Just think about it. 1 plus 1/2 plus 1/3 plus 1/4 plus 1/5, so on and so on. So you're just adding up all the numbers that look like 1 over the integers.
Okay.
If you add all those up, what do you think you get? No trick. No trick. It's just, what do you think? You add up infinitely many numbers. What do you get?
2?
I'm not really sure why you would guess that. But no,
Well,
you add up infinitely many numbers, you get infinity.
Oh, okay.
Right? I mean,
Okay.
now add up the numbers. 1
Right.
plus 1 over 2 squared, so 1/4.
Okay.
Okay,
1/4.
so squared. So for any for this listening that doesn't remember what I mean by squared, so if you take a number and square it, that means you multiply it by itself. So 2 squared is 4, 2 times 2. 3 squared, that's 3 times 3 is 9. 9 squared, 9 times 9 is 81, so forth and so forth. So now we're looking at 1 plus 1 over 2 squared plus 1 over 3 squared plus 1 over 4 squared. So basically the same thing we were just doing, but square all the bottom numbers. Add them all up forever, infinity, forever. What do you think you get?
Infinity.
See, this is the cool math thing.
Okay.
You would totally think so. And again, this is not a trick. I'm not tricking you. You don't get infinity. You get a finite number, like an actual number. This is really counterintuitive. And I agree with the look you're giving me just now. It's totally counterintuitive. It's not mathemagic. It's like in the real world. If you add up all those numbers, as counterintuitive as it is, if you add them up and you get an actual finite number, you should like be able to write down that number. So what is it? You get 1? Do you get the number 2? What do you think you get? What would you guess?
7.
That's an amazing guess. So you know the number pi barely, 3.141. Yeah.
Yeah. Not intimately, but I do know it, yes.
You know, yes.
Not in a biblical sense either.
Not in a biblical sense, no. If you add up all those numbers, you get pi squared over 6.
Okay.
What? You get pi squared over 6, and this is a true fact. And in fact, if you add up all those numbers and instead of you cube them, like multiply them by themselves 3 times, you get pi to the 4th over 90, and it's crazy. Now, a little kind of interesting thing that comes out of that, actually, do you know what it means for 2 numbers? We've talked about prime numbers. Do you know what it means for 2 numbers to be co-prime?
They share the limelight?
They share the limelight. They do in that they have no common factors other than 1. So let me give an example. The numbers 3 and 5 are co-prime because what are the factors of 3? 1 and 3. What are the factors of 5?
I'm going to guess 1 and 5.
They are 1, 5. Like no other numbers divide 5,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So the only common factor of 3 and 5 is the number 1. So these are
Yes.
considered coprime. On
Okay.
the other paw, what the numbers 10 and 15 are not coprime. Because well, for example, what are the factors of 10?
1, 2, 5, and 10.
Right. What are the factors of 15?
1, 5, 15.
I'm making us think, but exactly, that's exactly right.
Okay.
So, the numbers 10 and 5 have the common number 5. As
Okay.
you couldn't, but you were right. You're right. So they have a common number of 5. So those numbers are not coprime. So there's this branch of number theory. I won't get into that, but it's I've talked about before when I talked about Fermat's theorem. It's really great. It's wonderful. Great. Blah blah. Okay. In number theory, it can be really important to know when numbers are coprime,
Okay.
and it might be nice to know, like, what's the probability that given two very big numbers, like you're just given any two integers, what is the probability that they are coprime? You could see maybe, okay, from a number theoretical, whatever that is, perspective, that could be interesting. It turns out, are you ready? Are you
I'm
ready
ready.
for this?
I'm so ready.
The probability that two big numbers are coprime is 6 over pi squared. That is the reciprocal of what you get when you add up the numbers 1 plus 1 over 2 squared plus 1 over 3 squared plus 1 over that stuff we did before. Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing. The
And
thing that you learn while listening to our podcast.
It's true. And it's not coincidence. Actually, that probability comes from the fact that all those numbers equal pi squared over 6. That's my math for this week. I realized I hadn't done any math history in a while. So I think next time I'll do some sort of math history. So there you go.
All right. So episode 44, we'll have some math history. Taebyn has a book of really bad jokes. It's not titled that. It's called Funny Jokes and Foxy Riddles.
So let me just remind every fur. Yes, this joke is funny jokes and foxy riddles. And really the only word that's true there is the word and.
And, yes.
And
It's from what year?
1968. So these are jokes and riddles, whatever, from 1968. And this is a golden book worth 75 cents back in 1968. And it's worth about 7.5 cents now in 2021.
Yeah, yep. And humor was different back then, we have learned.
Apparently. These are jokes that I have not. So when I do this on the pupcast, I just read the next page and I haven't read it yet myself. So they can go any way. And we've seen these go like, there's been jokes we have not known what they've said meant for like 2 weeks or something. So this can go any way. So here it is.
All right. So you want to start or you want me to start?
And by the way, Barely's joke, he actually knows what he's talking about. So like he's the wonderful one. I'm just the pup. So
I pick jokes for this
he
section.
actually picks them.
Yes.
So I'm just going to start with my first thing by saying, did you know that when my dad was in Africa, not Africa, but Africa. Africa would be like when you have lots of crows in the country, because you'd have Africa. My dad was in Africa. He caught a lion that was 20 feet long.
Oh my goodness.
Whoever I was telling this story to told me that was some lion.
That was some lion, all right. Hey, it's February, and a couple of weeks ago, well, a week and a half ago now, was Groundhog Day.
It was. Pet the groundhog.
And, they have a similar holiday in France.
Oh, yeah?
However, do you know what the French groundhog sees?
Something Françoise.
He looks for his chateau.
I got that. The coffee, now, apparently the coffee, ocean, and TV can talk. The coffee says, something your parents need in the morning before you make any noise. I guess what he is, coffee.
Oh, what he is. Okay.
The ocean, where buoys meet gull.
Okay. Buoys meet gulls.
That's, no, it's supposed to be where buoy meets gull. I see, I read it wrong. Okay. And TV, on the count of 3, TV, 1, 2, 3. A washing machine.
Oh.
So you can wear your clean clothes at the same time, I guess.
In keeping with Valentine's Day tomorrow,
Yes.
do you know what a ram's favorite song is on Valentine's Day?
A ram's favorite song on Valentine's Day.
Mhm.
Valentine's Day.
Yes.
I don't know. What is a ram's
I
favorite song?
only have eyes for you, dear. You should have known that one.
My puppy logic should have totally worked on that one.
Totally
and
worked on
gone,
that one. Yep.
oh my
Yep.
lord.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
my cow.
Moo.
Moo. Cow goes moo, fox goes trot, or whatever I said in my song. So I guess plug for myself. Listen to the previous pupisode or a previous pupisode when I sang "What Does the Pup Say?" So there's this dad, and he is furious with his son Bill. And do you know why he's furious?
Why is he furious with his son Bill?
Well, he yells at him, "Bill, wash your face. I can see what you had for breakfast in the morning." Bill says, "What did I have?" And the dad says, "Obviously eggs." And Bill says, "Wrong. That was yesterday." 1968, my furs.
What did the cucumber say to the pickle?
You're a cute pickle? I don't know.
You mean a great dill to me.
So speaking of dill, not really, but here it is. There's a city lady and a cowboy.
Another cowboy joke. Wonderful.
Another cowboy. Wonderful. So the city lady, she's walking around and she's talking to the cowboy, and the city lady says, "Look at that. There's a bunch of cows." And the cowboy says, "No herd." City lady says, "Herd of what?" Cowboy says, "Herd of cows?" And the city lady says, "Sure, I heard of cows." The cowboy says, "No, a cow herd." City lady says, "What do I care what the cow heard? I got no secrets from a cow."
And now I'm going to end this with what I'm going to call a really joke. So this is going to be one of those jokes where someone's going to have to explain this to us, because I have read this joke I don't know how many times and I don't get it.
Okay, fluff it at me.
Okay, an Englishman, a Frenchman, and an Irishman were in the pub talking about their children.
Okay.
"My son was born on St. George's Day," remarked the Englishman, "so we obviously decided to call him George." "That's a real coincidence," observed the Frenchman. "My daughter was born on Valentine's Day, so we decided to call her Valentine."
That makes total sense to me. I'm with you so far.
"That's really incredible," drawled the Irishman. "Exactly the same thing happened with my son Pancake."
So
I don't know.
so I got the first two. That made sense.
Right?
He named his son Pancake.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't. Maybe that's the joke right there, is that no one in history will ever understand this.
We'll see how long it takes for someone to explain it to
Yeah,
us.
so please, Rain, our fact checker, or Sumfer, please let us
Somebody
know what
let us
that
know.
means.
Yes, exactly the same thing happened with my son Pancake. I don't know what that means. That brings us to the end of our podcast. Thank the
that's
Lord.
probably a good thing, Mr.
good thing.
Pancake.
Yep. So you made me think about math things in high school. You made my brain hurt today. Had a lot of fun.
I'm happy to do that. I hoop I made every other first brain hurt.
Yes,
I guess.
indeed. Okay, well, help to support us if you can. If you can't, that's okay too. We enjoy doing this for you. We're glad that everybody's listening.
And if any fur did want to support us, how could they do that, Barely?
Well, they could do it on Patreon. They could do it on Ko-Fi. And you know what else they can do? They can vote for us on Ursa Major.
They can. That would be a great way to support us.
Support us. Yes, absolutely. Then write us a letter, send us an email, send us a carrier pigeon. I don't care. Anything. Send us something.
Send us a carrier fox or carrier
fox.
Staedtler bat.
Statler bat. Yes. You'd have to have his handler would have to come with him though, because
It would.
that's the way he can fly.
It would be a party. We would have several going on.
All right. So goodbye, every fur. Until next week. Remember to stay furry.
So that was Barely's little. I think it was last week, he came up with his send off was that, and now mine is whatever the fluff is happening in my mind. And so I'll try and keep it short and sweet, but we all know I never actually do that. So here it goes. Thank you, every fur, for listening. We appreciate so much. We talk about supporting the show and everything and donations, which is great if you can, so great if you don't. But I have to say, if you've listened to us and we've entertained you and you've just been here with us, that's really good support.
That's support.
We really appreciate you so much for doing that, definitely. So thank you for supporting, especially if you're still listening up till now.
Till now.
Oh my God.
This is a long episode, so thank you for listening and sticking around.
And you know that I'm just talking now for the rest of the time. So like if you're actually still doing that, like your sponsorship just went up like 5,000 times. So thank you so much. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. We hope you've enjoyed the time. We hope you enjoyed our stuff. We hope you listen to us in the future. And we will get to a con again and hug. And it'll be great. I'm looking forward to doing a Barely Furcasting in the live. If you saw, we did this on the FC Virtual Con. I still have to post that video. But if you go to Barely's YouTube, you can see it. Eventually, I'll actually post it. It's fun doing the virtual live FC thing, but I'm looking forward to getting to an actual live FurCon and doing our podcast then too. Anyway, I got derailed because that's what I do. So anyway, thank you everybody for listening. We love you a lot. We hug. I wait. Bark, bark. We bark at you next time. Until next time, see you later.
Barely Furcasting is an Injured Nerves studio production and is found on all major podcast platforms, or can be heard directly at barelyfurcasting.com. The opinions expressed here are those of the hosts and their guest, and no commercial compensation was granted. The Furcast is produced, recorded, and directed by me, Barely Normal, aka Mike Began, and is edited by myself and our associate editors Rain Raccoon and Canes. This week's interview was edited by Rain Raccoon. Opening and closing theme music, as well as some interstitial music, was created for Injured Nerves Productions for the use on the podcast by our music associate Reg Day with Damian Tanuki. Other interstitial and background music by Shane Ivers through silvermansound.com and the YouTube free use library. If you would like to send us a message, you can do so via email at barelyfurcasting@gmail.com or on our Telegram chat at BFFTchat, on Twitter, on our Facebook page, or on the barelyfurcasting.com webpage. You can help support the show through donations at ko-fi.com/barelyfurcasting or through Patreon at patreon.com/barelyfurcasting. Thanks for listening. We hope you come back and listen next week.